साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
बुद्धिप्रदायक गणनाथ, बुद्धिप्रदायक गणनाथ, सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन,
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन,
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन, नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते,
नमोस्तुते
नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते, सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
बुद्धिप्रदायक गणनाथ, सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
विघ्नहरण प्रभु विघ्नेश्वर तुम,
गौरी नंदन हे जगवंदन,
हे जगवंदन,
नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते,
नमोस्तुते
नमोस्तुते,
नमोस्तुते,
सिद्धिविनायक मंगलदाता। गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा सुन्दररूपा श्री साई देवा सुन्दररूपा श्री साई देवा शरणं शरणं सद्गुरुदेवा शरणं शरणं सद्गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा पाहि प्रभो शरणं देवा गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा सुन्दररूपा श्री साई देवा शरणं शरणं सद्गुरुदेवा शरणं शरणं सद्गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा शरणं देवा देवी साई माँ देवी सरस्वती माँ देवी साई देवी सरस्वती देवी साई देवी सरस्वती देवी साई देवी सरस्वती दुर्गा भवानी काली कपालिनी जगदोधारिणी जगदोधारिणी सत्य साई दया करो माँ सरस्वती माँ।
देवी सरस्वती माँ।
दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी माँ।
दुर्गा भवानी माँ, काली कपालिनी माँ।
जगदोधारिणी माँ,
जगदोधारिणी माँ।
सत्य साई दया करो 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 माँ।
देवी साई माँ, देवी सरस्वती माँ। राधिका जीवना,
राधिका जीवना।
राधिका जीवना,
राधिका जीवना।
कृष्ण जनार्दना,
कृष्ण जनार्दना।
कृष्ण जनार्दना।
कृष्ण जनार्दना।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
देवकी नंदना,
देवकी नंदना।
देवकी नंदना।
देवकी नंदना।
नंदनंदना, हे गोपिका रंजना।
नंदनंदना, हे गोपिका रंजना।
नंदनंदना, हे गोपिका रंजना।
नंदनंदना, हे गोपिका रंजना।
मुरली मोहना,
मुरली मोहना।
मुरली मोहना।
मुरली मोहना।
श्री मधुसूदना,
श्री मधुसूदना।
कृष्ण कृष्ण श्री मधुसूदना।
कृष्ण कृष्ण श्री मधुसूदना।
राधिका जीवना,
राधिका जीवना।
कृष्ण जनार्दना।
कृष्ण जनार्दना।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
राधे गोविंदा, राधे गोपाला।
देवकी नंदना,
हरिनारायण 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 साई नारायण हरिनारायण साई नारायण हरिनारायण 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 जय हरिनारायण नारायण जय साई नारायण नारायण हरिनारायण 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 साई नारायण हरिनारायण हरिनारायण जय हरिनारायण नारायण जय साई नारायण नारायण हरिनारायण हरिनारायण शंभो शंकरा शिव शंभो शंकरा
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 शंभो शंकर सांब सदा 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 शिव शंभो शंकरा
नायका परमेशा पाहि
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 शंभो शंकर सांब सदा शिव शंभो शंकरा
शंभो शंकर सांब सदा शिव शंभो शंकरा
शंभो शंकर सांब सदा शिव शंभो शंकरा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
शम्भो शङ्कर साम्ब सदा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
पर्तिनायका परमेशा पाहि माम्
पर्तिनायका परमेशा पाहि माम्
पर्तिनायका परमेशा पाहि माम्
पर्तिनायका परमेशा पाहि माम्
शम्भो शङ्कर साम्ब सदा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
शम्भो शङ्कर साम्ब सदा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
शम्भो शङ्कर साम्ब सदा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
शम्भो शङ्कर साम्ब सदा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा शम्भो शङ्करा शिव शम्भो शङ्करा
कृष्ण कृष्ण गोविंद कृष्ण गोपाल बाल कृष्णा
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 नंद नंदना भक्त चंदना गान लोल 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 कृष्णा
सुंदर वदना सरोज नयना राधा प्रिय 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 कृष्णा
यादव कृष्ण यशोद कृष्ण सत्य साई कृष्ण
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 कृष्ण कृष्ण गोविंद कृष्ण गोपाल बाल कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण गोविंद कृष्ण गोपाल बाल कृष्ण
नंद नंदना भक्त चंदना गान लोल कृष्ण
नंद नंदना भक्त चंदना गान लोल कृष्ण
सुंदर वदना सरोज नयना राधा प्रिय कृष्ण
सुंदर वदना सरोज नयना राधा प्रिय कृष्ण
यादव कृष्ण यशोद कृष्ण सत्य साई 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 कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण गोविंद कृष्ण गोपाल बाल कृष्ण श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
बालाजी गोविंद साईशा
बालाजी गोविंद साईशा
बालाजी गोविंद साईशा
बालाजी गोविंद साईशा
श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
श्रीनिवास श्री वेंकटेश
परम दयाला तिरुमल ईशा
पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभ ईशा
पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभ ईशा
पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभ ईशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
श्रीनिवासा श्रीवेङ्कटेशा
श्रीनिवासा श्रीवेङ्कटेशा
बालाजी गोविन्द साईशा
बालाजी गोविन्द साईशा
श्रीनिवासा श्रीवेङ्कटेशा
श्रीनिवासा श्रीवेङ्कटेशा
परमदयाला तिरुमलवासा
परमदयाला तिरुमलवासा
पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभ ईशा
पद्मालक्ष्मी वल्लभ ईशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
पुण्डरीकाक्षा पाप विनाशा
श्रीनिवासा श्रीवेङ्कटेशा
गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला माधव मुरहर मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाल हे गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला कुमारा नवनीत चोरा बृंदावनम संचारा भक्तोद्धारा बालगोपाला भक्तोद्धारा बालगोपाला गिरिधर गोपाला कुमारा नवनीत चोरा बृंदावनम संचारा भक्तोद्धारा బాలగోపాల గిరిధర గోపాల గోపరిపాల గోపీలోలా రాధా హృదయ విహార నందకుమార బృందావన సంచార గిరిధర గోపాల
I'm trying to write a book on Swami, and I hope this book will see the light of day. It's a long gestation. I wrote something, kept it away. Then now I've very actively, Swami has given me some signs that I better get on with it. So I've started doing it, and this has this answer in it and a chapter in it. I'll give you one example of that. I'm giving you a preview of one of the chapters in the book. So here, and it's not directly related to Swami. I was not a Swami's devotee until 1992 in that sense. Although he has later shown me that all the gods you prayed to are I used to pray to God, but he later showed that any god you prayed to is me, and that later on it came. But it's only in 92 actually when I took my official first step to Swami and then became his devotee and then started praying to him. And now literally I don't pray to any other god because I feel all gods are the same. Swami is all gods. So if I pray to him, I'm praying to all gods. I'm against no god. I'm not against any god because all gods are the same. But for me, Swami is enough. I don't need any other god. So I literally don't even go to temples now. Because when I go there, I also pray to Swami only. I feel coming to Puttaparthi to see the living God and His presence is actually better. So without any people say, oh, you stopped going to Shabarimala, you stopped going there, you stopped going there. It's not necessary because ultimately I am seeing God here. Yes. And same if I go to Ayyappa also, he is also Baba only. Yes. So to me it makes no difference. So those who are going to Ayyappa, fine, let them continue to go. They are seeing God in that form. I am seeing God in this form. Each one has his own chosen deity. For me, my chosen deity is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I don't have any other God. I can openly say that, okay? Because all gods are the same. If I pray to Jesus also, I'm praying to Him only. And Jesus is also God. So it doesn't matter at all. You choose one. If you have two paths to come to Puttaparthi, one along this way and one along the other way, some prefer that for some particular reason. The scenery is good, the road is smaller, but it's more rustic, it looks nice through the village. No, I want to go through a highway, I want to come fast, this, that. Some prefer that. Some people say, what boring highway, this is very much better. Different. Ultimately, you come to Puttaparthi. Yes. It doesn't matter which way you come. So similarly, roads to God also are different. But let me go back to your question. So there was this boy in school. who was my junior. And he was a little poor. He was a side devotee. So there is a link in that way. I wasn't at that time, but he was. And he was one of the few side devotees that I knew of at that time. This is 1960s probably, yeah, 1960s. So this boy, he came to me.
In Chennai?
In Chennai. Yeah. I was studying in school in St. Mary's High School, and this boy was 1 year junior to me. And since he could not afford, every year when I pass out, he'll come and ask for some books to me, my books, so that he can save on the textbooks were very expensive those days. Some of them were very expensive. I remember this March of Time is a very expensive book. Even those days it was few hundred rupees, you know. So it's a beautiful book called March of Times. So I had this book, and so he came and asked me, can you give me the March of Times? And already he is a slow thing. So 2 months, 3 months after that only he'll think of the book itself. So already we are into February, March, and I have already finished 2-3 months in my next class. I have forgotten where my old books are, nothing. But he asked me in school, will you give me the March of Time? And I said, yeah, I'll give you, come home, come at 4:30 at home after class, after school, you come, I'll give you. I said, I had no idea where this book was. Okay. Promptly at 4:30 he landed up. Okay. Suddenly I panicked because I didn't know where the book was. I have many faults in life, but one of the things I don't have is once I make a promise, I normally don't break it. And from childhood it's been like that. I never like to break a promise given to anyone for that matter. And I promised him I'll give it, you know. And he has landed up there at 4:30. He's rung the bell. My servant came and told me he has come. I panicked because I didn't know where this book was. I had absolutely no idea where this book was. Okay. So what I did was I just knelt down and prayed to God in general, not to Baba at that time. I was not a Baba devotee, but just to God. And I said, okay, God, okay, I don't know where this book is. I made a promise to him. I don't want to break my promise. I don't know where the book is, but you know where the book is. Okay, you get me that book now. Okay, until you get that book, I'm going to remain like this now. Okay. You show me where the book is, and then I will go and give this book to him. If you do that, I will believe that there is a God. There is a superpower. Okay? If not, then there is no God. Because you can't do this for me, then what can you do? You know? So you prove to me now. Because I am in a thing now where I want to know whether there is God or no God and so on. So now I'm going to wait here now till you give me the answer. Okay? Direct test to God.
And how old were you then?
I was in the 7th standard. So I must have been what, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
So I said, so I was still kneeling. Then I closed my eyes. I don't know how many minutes. I lost count of time, you know. So I was kind of meditating like that, sitting like that and saying, yeah, book. Now tell me. Where's the book? Suddenly, I saw the book in the most unusual, unexpected place. There is outside my house, this is in Roypuram, in my old house, there was an electric meter room, you know. It's a small room about, say, 6 feet by 2 feet or 3 feet, you know. It's a small room where the only activity there is once a month, from the electricity department, they'll come and they'll read the electricity meter. That was there. The meter was on the wall. And the only other thing which used to keep, those days we had used charcoal for fire. We didn't have gas. So charcoal. So sack of charcoal, when once a month the big charcoal sack will come. So my gardener, nobody goes inside that room. Only my gardener goes inside that room. Okay. So sack of charcoal comes and he'll open it and put it there. And the electricity man comes, he'll take. There's only two times that is opened. Okay. But here I am seeing it in my mind. The charcoal is there, sack, and on that March of Times is sitting.
It's sort of a mental vision.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm actually seeing it. I can see the charcoal and I can see the March of Time sitting on it. Okay. Now that's not a place you keep books at all. Okay. But I've seen it. I've already seen it. I've asked, either he has shown it to me there, but I think he has teleported it. Because it could not have come there, and I'll tell you why he has teleported it. So I walk out. So I'm so confident that it is there. So I walk out, this boy is there, and I say, come, we'll go, I'll get you the book, you know. Then I called the gardener and said, get me the room key. So he asked me, why do you want the room key? I said, no, there's some book in it. No, sir, there's no book and all in it, sir. No, I said, bring, it is there, let's go. He said, there's no book, sir, I keep everything, there's nothing there, sir, only this meter. No, you bring the key, I said. So we went there, and I'm calling the boy, come, I'll give it to you. No, so confident I am, because I've seen it, no, there. In my vision, he has shown it. So I said, okay, come. Open the door, on the sack of charcoal, March of Times is sitting.
Wow.
Only one book, only March of Times, nothing else. Okay. I take the March of Times, there's no charcoal on it, nothing is there, it has been placed there at that time. Okay. Why charcoal room? Why this? Maybe to make it so extraordinary that the story will, if I found it in some, where you keep books or something in my place, then probably it's not so extraordinary. Maybe to reinforce the faith, it took it. So I took it from him, gave it to him and said, okay, thank you, happy? Oh, thank you so much, he said, and he went off. Till today, I have not told him about this miracle. I still know him. He's still Sai devotee, is a thing, he's still my friend, he's thing. Till today, I have not told him the story, But that convinced me at that age that there is something beyond us. And when we need to reach out, somebody said, I think it was Francis Bacon or somebody who said that if everything was available to you and given to you, what are the heavens for? The heavens are there for you to stretch out. That's why when we pray, we do this,
Yes.
We are stretching out. If already everything is given to you, there's no need for heavens, But the heavens are there for you when you need something, okay, you reach out and it shall be given to you. And that was the first example. I started other experiments, Can you do something superhuman if you use the power of God, So, for example, I was a shot put champion, okay. So, every day I would practice shot put and I knew my distance because every day I was practicing for the event. I later became the athletic captain of my college MMC team and intermedical champion and so on. So, I know my distance and every day evening I used to practice this. So, I know so many meters, so many 0.2, 0.3, I have a thing, I used to measure it. So, one of those thing in college, this is in college now, intermedical competition, there was a guy from Tanjore who was actually throwing more than me. So, he was little ahead of me. Okay, and I have never thrown that in my life. The distance which he has covered, I don't know how much it was, 9.8 meters, something like that. He had thrown that and I was clearly about half a meter or 1 meter less than me. I'm already doing my best because I do it every day, so I know my best. They give you 6 throws, So 5 throws are over, his throw is already over. So he's at still half a meter ahead of me. So I take this shot put in my hand and I just turned around, and then I'm telling God, and saying, okay, I'm going to try this now, okay? I'm not going to throw, you're going to throw this, okay? And one test more I just need for my final thing that, your power is much more than what we mortals can do. Can you help me with this to achieve something, not to win that, but to show that I can do something much more if I use your power, So can you help me to do that? So I said, okay, now I'm going to do it. I said, so I just prayed to him and get an answer. He said, now I'm going to do it. I'm going to test. Let's see what happens. So I go and throw. It goes about a meter and a half more than what that guy has thrown.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at myself and saying, did I throw that? And I said, my God, hereafter I'm not going to test you. No need for any more tests, but I'll come to you whenever I need some help of some kind, not to win a thing like this, but whenever I need help, to help people, at least I can use it, So from that, there's no more question of God or this thing. So now I feel, when people question, is there a God, is there a thing? Do such experiments, please, and convince yourself. Swami also says,
yes.
Test me as many times. But after you have been convinced, then don't try to question me or try to understand me because it's beyond your capacity. You're an ordinary mortal. Can you understand me? Can you understand my universe? Can you understand what I created? Can you understand why I'm doing certain things? It's beyond you. Don't even waste your time. Okay? First you do all your experiments to develop the faith. Once you develop the faith, surrender. After that, so that's exactly what I've done in my life. The first few years went in all this. After that I realized, oh my God, there's something there which we can use for helping people and so on. So initially we pray only for, help me pass the exam, help me get this, that's how we pray. But eventually you start praying for other people, helping people and the profession, make this man okay, make the thing. And then you start
seeing. You need
seeing
the help of God so much in this profession.
in everything, every time, I have seen people, I have seen surgeons Experienced surgeons, every time, I've seen a Christian gentleman, every time before he puts his first thing, he'll make the sign of the cross, then only he'll put his first incision. At that crucial moment, you need God, you know, because otherwise that one little thing you make can go, it can damage the liver, damage something, because you think you're doing it. And then with all your skills, you may make a mistake. So you're still praying to God, protect me, take me along, this person has come to me for my help, please be with me as I serve this person. Then you'll see the difference. But many people become arrogant, you know, it's me, I am the greatest, I am this, I am that, and think your downfall will come. Because ultimately your downfall will come because arrogance. You know, it happened to Ravana, it happened to, Karna, it happened to whoever, you know, had thought that they were the greatest, ultimately history has proved that they were not. You know, they might have been very, very great, but without that grace of God, that ultimate thing, it doesn't happen. So that is where I think Swami has been teaching us all along, you know. Of course, his principles are so simple. That's what attracted me. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. Even if you can't oblige, speak obligingly.
Yes.
You know, these are all things which are so simple to apply in daily life. I see somebody will come to me for a favor which I cannot do. Okay, I simply cannot do it. Be nice to him and say, I would have loved to do this for you, you know, and I wish I could have done it, but it's not in my hands to do that, you know. And so I wish you all the very best. I'll even pray for you for it. But in this particular thing, please excuse me, I'm not able to do it, you know. If you say that, that man will never be angry with you. He still knows you're not done it for him, you know. But it's for a reason you're not able to do, you know. So speak obligingly. So these things I think what Swami has taught us, which we'll never forget. Throughout our life, his teachings are always there.
Wow, amazing. I mean, people know about your experiments in the field of medicine, but I think not many know about your experiments with God. And that is actually the basis. Actually, how it turns out for all the success that you have achieved in your life. Yeah. How was it when you received Padma Shri from the President's hands?
You know, in one of my trips to Puttaparthi, 2-3 years before I got, the Padma Shri, Swami had actually hinted.
Is it?
Not directly as in telling me you will get Padma Shri, but through an indirect episode. I can't actually explain it properly, but he had kind of told me that...
you knew it was coming?
I knew it was coming because he had given me the sign, you know, saying that... In fact, it mentioned Padma Shri. That is what he mentioned.
Swami had mentioned?
Padma Shri he had mentioned.
Wow.
So I knew it's coming. Then I was nominated once some few years ago. That year, I thought, no, he's given me the sign. And so when somebody said, shall I nominate? I got myself nominated. So I didn't get it that year. So I said, okay, maybe, you know, I misunderstood the sign. It may not be. The next year, Swami said something about why are you going after material things or something like that. So then when somebody said they'll nominate me, I said, don't nominate me. You know, I don't want. I refused to get nominated. So that is the second year. The first year I was nominated, I never got. Second year, I never went for the nomination. Third year, I was not nominated. Without being nominated, that is, I didn't send in, I never knew. Somebody told me that I'm getting Padma Shri. Okay. Mm-hmm. They said, you have been shortlisted. Your name. I said, how can it be? When I have not sent in an official nomination, how can... No, somebody from Delhi has nominated. Anybody in the country can nominate. You don't need to know. You don't have to sign. You don't have to do anything. Anybody can nominate. Somebody in Delhi has nominated. I didn't believe it until they came for the inspection. You know, when the final stage comes, they'll come for inspection. So they came for the inspection and then it's already shortlisted. The president's physician told me congratulations and he announced it in front of... This is the year before I got it, incidentally, not the year I got it. Okay. The president's physician in a meeting 2 days before, it's announced in Republic Day as you know. 2 days before there is a meeting in Chennai and he announced it to everyone. Dr. Mohan is getting Padma Shri and everybody clapped and cheered and so on. Morning when the papers came, my name is not there. It was the most embarrassing thing in my life. And I not even applied, you know. I never applied. I was not nominated. I didn't know I was nominated. I didn't know anything. But they came for the inspection. The final inspection, income tax will come, this will come, police will come, verification. Everything happened. But in the last minute, some political thing takes place and my name was removed, okay. My wife was very ill at the time. And so she knew, this in January, the year of Swami's Samadhi also. And my wife actually passed away 30 days before that, on March 25th. So she knew she won't be there for the next year, you know. So she told me, you're disappointed. I said, I'm not, because I didn't apply. So how can I be disappointed when I'm not? I'm only a little bit ashamed because this fellow announced in front of everyone. He could have kept quiet. He announced it, and then, you know, I didn't get it. So people will think, you know, what's happening, you know. So I wish he had not said anything, and I never applied, I never asked for it, never asked anything. Then she said, you will get it next year. Okay? I won't be here, but I will let you know that I know that you got it. And next year you're getting it, she said. Next year I was nominated. The year I got it, I was actually nominated, because people said, you come so close, you've been shortlisted, now why you're not allowing yourself to be nominated? So 2, 3, because the same guys who knew that, you know, this had happened and so on, this guy also who had announced it, he was also feeling very bad. So I got multiple nominations from my society, from my association, everyone nominated me the next year. Okay. Then my wife passed away, Mahasamadhi also occurred that year, 2011. 2012, so 2011, 2012 nominations took place, and I was nominated and so on. And this time, many people told me I'm getting it, because from Delhi itself, they said, you're getting it, you're getting it. I said, I don't know, it's happened so many times, and, you know, I'm not interested, so I don't. They say, no, you're getting it, you're getting it. Then again came for inspection, they came for everything this time. And the guy who came for inspection said, sir, your name is first in the list, so you will definitely get this year, he told me. So then that morning, on January 25th, 12 o'clock, they'll call from the Home Office and say the President has selected your name. That morning I went into my office. I keep a garland for Swami, you know, every morning for Swami and for my wife. 2 fresh garlands. I personally put it. I'll say I have to put it every day. I went and sat there around 9 o'clock in the morning. Swami's garland started shaking, and it fell. The whole garland fell. Okay. So I went back and put it. Then my wife's garland started shaking. It never happened so many days before, and after that also, last 2 years also it has not, 1.5 years also it has not happened. Okay. Her garland started shaking. She said, I'll let you know. When you get it, I won't be there, but I'll let you know, she said. I will be there and I'll let you know that I'm there, that you got it. So then it started shaking, that fell. Then I went and put that back. Then Swami started shaking. I put that and fell. I put it back. Then hers started shaking and it fell. 4 times that fell, 4 times this fell in a matter of 2 hours. Okay? Never before, never after it has happened. Only on that day. The last time after one of these fell, I think the Swami's last which fell, and even my secretary asked him, why sir it is shaking like this thing, that is shaking, this is shaking. It's shaking like this, you know. And the thing, I said, I don't know, but how can I tell her, you know, maybe because I'm getting this thing. So I said, I was telling myself 12 o'clock I'll know when I'm getting. 12 o'clock call came saying that the President has been selected you for Padma Shri. Will you accept? Because that time also you can refuse. If you say, you know, many people refuse, saying that, no, I should have got bigger one, not this one, you know, this controversy goes on. So I said, I'm humbled to accept, I will think. But both Swami and my wife were letting me know that they know, you know. So, and he had already given me a signal years ago, but then in his time only it will come. You know, when I really applied for it and all, I never got it. But then in his time it will come. But he had given me an indication. So I know it is Swami's grace only that has also come. Of course, it's very nice because the function is extremely well organized. And you meet the President, you meet the Prime Minister, almost the entire cabinet is there. The Vice President was there. Sonia Gandhi was there. I mean, the whole cabinet. You have a one-to-one session with them. They all come and congratulate you. You have group pictures. We have with them photographs. So it's a very nice.
And you get more credibility to do his work.
And coming from Tamil Nadu, it's good because credit for Tamil Nadu. Get for doctor, so for the profession, it is good. So it's not just for me, but for the work you do. Then from institution, it's a very big thing, you know, because for all the people, almost 1,100 people work for me now. So for all of them, it's a recognition of the work, and I don't think it's for one person that you get it. It's for the work that you do. So that way it is always satisfying. But again, it is Swami, and without Swami, I don't think all these things can happen.
Wow. I think from that time onwards, when Swami made you see that book where it is, I think he's been there all the time.
And that chap was a side devotee, so that is a link. So if you say, how does Swami come into it? That chap is a side devotee, one of the few side devotees I knew in my life at that time, you know. And it's to him it has happened.
Yes.
So again the link comes through Swami only. So.
सेवकू ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मरि अन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरि अन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्रशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।